everybody. I'm Dan Lutz, and I'm almost here with Tank. Tank's not quite here yet. He is on the line. He just happened to get on another call. But I'll just go ahead and start, and he'll be joining us shortly. First of all, welcome to the front lines in the battle against the deep state, the cabal, and the Lumadonkeys, and all those that wish to enslave us. We're here on the front lines looking at every issue and every which way in order to go ahead and forge our path to abundance for the world, waiting on a lot of things to come down. We're watching what's going on with Trump and everything else. So anyway, we're happy to be here, happy to make this all happen. We're very excited about where things are going so far. I must apologize for not being able to be on yesterday. It was a little sudden. I had to leave to go to Manila. Also, a couple of things. Number one, it was my wife's birthday, and so we had planned on having a meal, and so we were going to do it locally, but then something happened. What happened was I had signed up someone for a cloud token for them to fund their wallet with their own Bitcoin. That they were having problems getting Bitcoin because it's new. And anyway, so she wanted me to do it for her. So I literally had to go to Manila to get the cash so that I could then turn it into Bitcoin and then load her wallet, which will be done today. So that's a very good thing for me. I mean, it's one of the things is that I work very hard in building up a group, but I put all my best people down below because this one supposed hedge fund guy was coming into Cloud Token, was bringing a big amount and was going to fund all of our wallets to build this, have this very big cascade effect happen, but that never happened. So I now have 51 direct people that have signed up because I've been doing videos and explaining it, but only one has paid more than $500 to start earning. So I only earn off of my first level. Basically, I have to reach the 21 levels deep to take advantage of all of the volume that is beneath me. And if that was to occur on that, I have 41,000 in volume beneath me. That would pay me about $2,000 a month just from the volume beneath me and the other people's wallets. I only had started with 700 in Bitcoin in my wallet, and so that earns me a few dollars a day, about 10% a month on just that. But with my downline, and only reaching to the first level, I'm making about 30% per month. So what I need is, to get people that want to sign up direct to me that are going to pay their wallet and earn themselves, even if they're not going to be building a downline. They still make about 10% a month. So I would encourage, if anyone is out there that would like to participate with me, and just instead of sending me money on donation, fund your own wallet. And just don't have to network, but just if you're direct to me, that'll help me reach down to that 40,000 mark. Well, maybe I can show that. Can I show that? Yeah, I think I could show that. Yeah, let's share this. Yeah. Well, that's okay. So that's really showing. Let me do it this way. There. So that's my volume beneath me, and that's only showing from the first level down, and that's great, right? To have that volume, but I can't quite get paid on it. I can only get paid on a certain amount. Let's try this. Yeah, this is basically showing like from September 23rd, so a week ago, my numbers. So I was making about 33% a month. That's on the 670 in Bitcoin that I had put in. And so again, that percentage, turns out to be at 1.11%, which I like that number. So If anyone would like to help me in quite a different way, and that would be by uh, just instead of sending me a contribution, which I'm okay for the moment, but 5 days from now, it'll be a little challenging. Maybe you want to join me in Cloud Token, and I'll help you get the Bitcoin as well, so that you can earn in your own wallet, and that will help me reach that. And if I got to get to the whole 21 levels, I don't have to get all 21 people directly. I only have to get to 16. At the 15th level, 15th person direct to me that's paid their wallet, I get to 15 levels. The 16th opens up or unlocks from 16 to 21 levels. So that's what I really need to get. I'll be getting a few in the next few days, which is great. I'll be reaching down to my 4th and 5th level. But I don't know how deep I need to go to get to the 40,000 that's sitting there. But it may be already down into the dozen, 15 levels deep. I don't know. Might be in 21 levels deep. I don't know. Can't see that far because I can only see the level that I'm at, which is level 1. Okay, so that's that. So thanks for everything that everyone's contributed thus far. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate that. So let's see what's going on in the world. No, Tank is still not here yet, but that's okay. We'll just keep going. Oh, you are here. Oh.
Yeah. Yes, I was I just got tail in there.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well,
So,
let me welcome. It's good to have you here. I'm sorry that I missed yesterday. I know we tried to connect while I was traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, this must mean that Kim funded because it was we didn't have a broadcast go out yesterday.
Well, yeah, maybe it's a sign. I know there's efforts taking place there. I know she said that everyone is working on it, and that includes some unusual suspects, including I guess some people at the Federal Reserve who are waking up to a reality, and some banks who have been notoriously oppositional. I've heard some things have gone down there to have some people that we've been waiting for them to get arrested finally have. So let's hope that all equals that we have success.
Yeah, that would be great if we're at that position right now to have where the Fed is actually helping. That's good if there's some people there. At a certain point, everyone has to realize, the money is not coming from where they used to come because someone else is sitting there. And they have to say, well, stop messing around with the old way of thinking, right? When the new boss says we're doing it this way, we're going to be supporting humanity. We're not killing them off. We're going to be building and not destroying. Just get with the program.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing actually. We did meet with the National Liberty Alliance today. The heads of that group. Paul and I drove up to I don't know, Catskill, Fishkill, Wallkill, up there in the Catskill Mountains, and we met with them, and we formed an alliance to actually bring back, and well, not that it's ever gone anywhere, but to enforce natural law, which is really what's recognized in the Constitution. And they've, like many of the common law groups, they've taken their licks, but they've actually done a tremendous amount of work. They have actually had votes in every single county in the country to reinstate the grand jury system.
In every county? That's how many counties? 3,000 some counties, something like that?
Every single county in the country, and they have had town hall meetings, and they have had votes to reinstate the Constitution. Now, had they taken that Now that work they actually have entered into the court of record, and the court of record is really becomes an undeniable lawful fact, right, of what has taken place, and it is recognized as a recording of the will of the people. And in this, now had they taken it a step further and published it in a legal journal or any recognized official journal, and it sat there for 60 days without action, then it would have been entered into the congressional library, and it would have automatically become law. Now it is actually law already, but it would have been recognized as a revitalization of the law, and therefore would have basically been the people's consent to move forward as a collective instead of corporation. Now, I think it still is valid the way it is, but that would have been just one more thing that they could have done. And I actually we're going to work with them to do that as well. But we did map out a plan and strategize well within the things I've been talking about already. And we are going to start bringing them on to interview them and spread their message. We need about 30,000 people nationwide that are active and working, and we're going to update their website, help them update their website, and that's going to be a very powerful alliance. We have also working with the Ron Davis, the Bear Law Group, and a bunch of his common law, well, I say I don't like that term, but natural law advocates that are around the country as well. So we're moving. We're making a lot of progress. It was a big move today. That was a big alliance we made. So we are definitely on the right track. So
yeah, that's amazing. I'm glad to hear that, and I would hope you also get a hold of my friend that I sent you his information. That a lawyer. He has already been successful in the Supreme Court and other courts, and coming in as a lawyer, not an attorney, and not part of the bar. And though he has to fight this every single time, but at least he knows how to do that. Okay.
Well, I got to tell you, Dan, I have incredible good fortune when it comes to twins. Right now, he's a twin, right?
Yes, he is. Both of them are lawyers.
Now,
both of them work on the same things. But one's a little more corporate than the other. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. No, I am a Gemini, and I obviously I told every girl I ever dated I was going to have twin boys. I have twin boys, and it's amazing that whenever things are going my way, twins somehow get involved, and I don't even know they're twins. I'll be dealing with one of them, But in my experience, if twins are involved, it usually means I'm going to win. So I'm excited about that. So I'm calling tomorrow morning.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be good. So, what's going on with Trump and anything else? Because I'm so out of the loop. Whenever I go to Manila, I'm on a. I just get no news.
Trump is like a rock star right now. Adam Schiff basically, he had direct contact with the whistleblower, and he withheld the information.
Oh.
Then Pelosi, obviously she slipped on 60 Minutes as she leaned over with her all black eyes covered in water. She was fiending for her next hit of adrenochrome. She also the same, right? But he had direct contact. He lied about that. Again, this is it wasn't the former head of the ethics committee or something. Or
Intel committee. Yeah. So he's a head overseeing the CIA and all these other intelligence agencies, right? So he's the guy, right?
So but I had a little bit of revelation. Maxine Waters came out, which she's always a good person to have at a barbecue, right? So Maxine Waters comes out and she said something like, President, and she's losing her mind. She's like, President Trump is setting us up to get killed. And I thought it was funny, like Bill Mitchell was like, what is she talking about? And I'm like, I know exactly what she's talking about. Because President Trump will not go along with the UN /deep state /dragon family order, genocide agenda, right? And because of that, like what did Joe Biden say? Is like he is not acting in the traditional way the presidents are supposed to act, right?
Right.
Well, every president up to this point, almost every president, right, is basically been under the thumb of these, horrifying individuals who force them to do terrible things to go along with their plan, right? So President Trump's not doing that. So he's not going along with, appropriate presidential decorum. Like he should.
He's not being presidential.
Yeah. Stop thinking for yourself. The president is supposed to do what they're told. So it's probably why they generally require them to have military experience. But anyways, or traditionally, there's some military.
Interesting thought. Yeah.
But what's no offense to any of our military out there, I'm just saying.
Well, they're just they're trained to take orders, so that it kind of makes sense.
Well, it's to destroy the individual, right? So this is their beef with this guy, right? So I realize with Maxine Waters, what she's saying is actually true, because what the MO of the Dragon families and Rothschild is that if you don't do what they say, they basically threaten you with biblical genocide, right? Which is, we're going to kill you, we're going to kill your family, we're going to kill your kids, your friends, anyone that knows you. Everyone in your life is going to just be erased, right? They're just going to disappear. And those kind of threats. So when Maxine Waters says that he's going to get us killed, she's referring to the deep state and her other cohorts there. And
right. That's the way I took it. When you first said it, I said, yeah, it sounds like she's afraid for herself. I mean, keep them killed.
Man.
Lynching is the preferred method for treason, right? For traitors. So
it depends on the court. Jason here.
Hey, Jason.
It's fantastic. I thank Kenny with NLA. That's a nice bridge to make. That's really, really fabulous. Thank you for doing this.
Oh man, thank you for leading us down that way. No, they were great. Very, very thorough. We definitely operate at a different pace, but undoubtedly are on the same page. Just great guys too. Really thorough. They've been doing this for a long time.
We've been doing this since before 2013 when I met them, and I was with them until like 2016. I was with them for a good 3 years as part of their crew. And New Jersey was the fifth one to get incorporated for the common law grand jury.
Well, you know what, and like your group there, the Peace Hawks, right?
Yes.
And these and some other groups, the Bear Law Group, and all those groups. We talked about. I told them, I said, look, to expand this, when you need to, we offered to help expand this mission in a more comprehensive way, because in my experience, as Dave talked about, is that these common law groups, they talk about so much. It's such a it's so massive. It's hard to wrap your mind around, right? And but a lot of what I realized when talking to those guys is a lot of the pieces they're missing. We've already built. They have the curriculum built, and we have an online university. All the software complete. We can launch in every school in the country, in a matter of days. If we had the right curriculum to go in, which I think would be essential to actually teach.
The essential. May I interject? The key to successful education is civics, and civics and literacy. People may understand, but comprehension is sometimes not able to be reached. And I've seen that in my students as a retired educator, and I've been out for 13 years now. So, but it's great. Did you get a chance to talk to David Roach, part of our working? He's a massive super guy. In his state, he's done over 70 filings and had only a failure of 6. And the whole thing is, we can give him capital, he'll do our filings, and if we have everyone filing in each state with his work and with NLA's work, we'll decimate them. I mean, and we don't even, and we're not using force. We're using the legal system, because everything that you put in the courts has to be recorded. And in my case, everything that I put in was discorded out of the record. But back to you, Tank. I think I'm looking at the picture. It's Dan and Tank, and I gotta remember who I'm talking to. Oh God.
It's okay. All right. It's no problem. So why don't you take it, Tank?
Sure. Yeah. So basically, what I see happening as it's in line with everyone. The National Liberty Alliance is set up as a common law trust, which is the same model that we use for everybody who's a member of the Guardian of Camelot. And Guardian of Camelot is unincorporated and tax exempt association. So I think what will end up happening ultimately, as far as a lawful structure to kind of get everyone outside of the the confines of UCC code filing and all that, all that comes with that, which especially because that is all a defunct system at this point, right? That system no longer is in force. All the contracts that were held against us here in the Republic, they have all expired. So, there is no overarching. Now, it doesn't mean that there's not agreements in place, on a smaller level, but as far as what bound us to bow down to these laws, that they're no longer enforced. So what has happened in the past, this even applies to things like...
Hello.
Sorry.
Okay.
If you look at these things, there is value to the Bill of Rights, of course, right? But there's often little things that have been changed that dramatically change the meaning, right? That we learn from, people like the gentleman Dave that Kevin talked about, who referred to, that initial line of the Constitution, which originally read, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. Actually, originally said that all men are created free and independent. Now that's a big difference, right?
Right.
Because that really emphasizes the most important aspect of what it means to be sovereign and what it means to be a liberated human, right? Just a born free kind of person, right? Which I think at the core of everything we are, if we were able to chip away the plaque buildup and the calcification and fluoride that is kind of limited and blocked many of our abilities to connect with our logic and our creativity, that we would all want to be free and we understand more completely what that means. And so that's why I think it's important to have a collective.
Well, let me add a little bit to this. So, when we had the original Declaration of Independence and Constitution, the people that were the inhabitants of the land, they basically agreed to be part of a society, and the society is an actual legal structure. It's the body politic, and that. So when the new federalized group that came out of the other constitution that was put in after because of the what happened with the Civil War and the new constitution was put into place, and the emergency powers that Lincoln took and used the law of necessity to create this new structure of Washington D.C. He in essence was creating the foundation for a new society, and the people that were part of that all were thinking they were all under the other society, and we should look at re-inhabiting the society, right? Being new inhabitants of the original society is one way to look at it. And I think if we have the proper context of what we're talking about, the proper understanding, that helps us get to where we need to go, right? If we're, trust is one thing, there's a foundations, these all have different structures. They all mean certain things, but like a trust is really an agreement, between a certain amount of group of people, right? And it just happens to have their certain parts of a trust, the corpus, the trustees, the executors, the beneficiaries, and there's other parts beyond that, it gets more elaborate. So, what I think we're really looking at is inhabiting the original society, for those that are Americans. Right? They're inhabitants of the geographical area of America. But in totality of the world, we're really looking at a new society of humanity. Right? And maybe we should look at how that is formed. I have some now experience in this, and of being part of the Kringle Society, right? And then seeing how that was formed and seeing what was put into place. So, I think this is on a much grander scale. We're looking at humanity being under a new society, and maybe there's more than one. I mean, there's so many societies. I mean, Skull and Bones is a society. Well, so is Red Cross a society. There's it keeps the jurisdiction outside of others. You have to have, treaties between societies, right? Just like countries. So it may be something to look at. That's why I wanted to bring it up. Still there?
No.
Okay. Okay, just.
No. I mean, very interesting. So,
may I interject?
Sure.
It's interesting. The Constitution is based on the Iroquois Confederacy of New York State, and they were together for like 350 years when Harry Walker came in to stop the luring, and that became the Peace Council, and the women were also part of the council, and all decisions were made by the chiefs of each tribe, and everyone had the equality that was there. And if you can get online the Iroquois Confederacy Constitution, but everyone says that we are spirited here. You are a native brother, and you have the power in you because of your ancestry. And I praise you for your bloodline. Also, that Dave Roach is also bloodline Indian too. So it's the tribes need to come together in a peaceful manner to evict the insurgents in our land. And they've taken us and hurt us. Whoever we are in a society, we've been beaten up, told to jump into a lake of piranha, and say that's good for you. You feel like you're losing weight. But again,
hey, I got one of your jokes.
What's that one? What's that?
You said jump. You feel like you're losing weight.
Come on.
No, thank you.
No,
I just want to get a chance there. I've been sending you gentlemen a lot of stuff, and I'm not going to say I'm the news person for you guys, but I have so much I want to offer you guys and offer the world, and everything I have, I want you to look at it because I want you to be able to read me and know where I'm coming from, because a lot of stuff comes out on people, and like Tank, you don't need to tell who you are. You are who you are. I am. I have a personality that I have to show you up because of what I went through in my life, and how I have been able to accomplish my soul and my spirit. And I want you guys to know that I want you to be part of the Peace Council of the Peace Hawks. and your place is there because you are reverent, you are reverent, and you're relevant to the cause. And by having the 21 of 464, we will take over what we need to take over the fire in a single shot, because everybody will be working with us. Peace is powerful, and once you start in the love of Jesus of being peaceful and helping your brother, you destroy the beast that is dealing in fear and hate. You disarm them because you're giving love and respect to you have very love and respect in yourself, and you give it to others. You make other people cheer. You make other people feel good. And when you do that, you are giving the power of Mother Earth and the Great Spirit back to everyone. We have to be recharged, and we're beaten down. And some people are so beaten down that the curb is Mount Everest for them. And we have to bring everyone up, because we are our brother's keeper. We have to be our own keeper. We take care of ourselves first. We can do others well. And what you're doing with your programs, gentlemen, is fantastic. You just need to put get the capital to put it in, and the world will be healed. And we are definitely responsible for ourselves. I like that thing, free and independent. Those two words, instead of be equal, and is important. But you know, it's interesting, you get to the second paragraph, it says you received your unalienable rights from the Creator in small c. And then you get to the 14th Amendment, and you have privileges and immunities. The only thing I know about privileges is they can be removed at any time, and with no actual reason, because again, they're going by their statute laws. Statute laws are repugnant to the Constitution because they are infringements upon our inalienable rights as sovereigns. And anyone who calls them a citizen, you're a citizen, you are enslaved to the state. And no one needs to be a ward, because you are responsible for paying your way. You can't even be a homeless person in this country if you don't have money. I yield to the floor. Thank you.
Well, let me ask you a question. We're talking about citizens, right? And being what in like we're talking with, say, privileges. You know, everyone thinks, oh, that's a good thing, right? But no, it's really a bad thing. Well, citizens, right? When people say, oh, I'm a U.S. citizen, you know, there's like, oh, I want to apply, I want to become a U.S. citizen. It looks like it's a valuable thing to have. It's a good thing. But what is it actually, what is the actual, proper way to say, I belong to this country, I belong to this land, if it's not the word citizen? What is the better word to use?
Well, the better word would be a non-American citizen. That way you're a citizen, you are American in the country, but you're not a citizen in the state per se.
So you're saying it's better to. I don't want to come up and start with a negative and say I'm a non-citizen. Right? That doesn't sound. It's like the reverse. Like, what do you want to be? Right? You want to be an inhabitant.
Well, I'm actually, I call myself an American national, because I was born in America. My nation is America, but my sovereign state is New Jersey. I'm a New Jerseyan, and you are. Anyone is in New York is a New Yorker.
So if you were to say I'm an American, would be the proper thing to say then.
Right, you are an American. Yeah,
I'm an American.
We don't need to clarify it, but again, we live in a state that the establishment wants proof, but when you ask for it, they deny it. Isn't that ironic?
Say that again. When you ask for what? Proof of what?
When the government asks for proof, for something to be a fact, all right, in a trial or in science, you need the proof of the sum of the total. Now, when it comes to government, they fail to do that, because they feel that they are our wards. They're not the wards; they're our employees, and it's a clear mindset that they put themselves in. The bar is the estranged witch that steals from us, And when you go into a court of non-record or any court, record or non, and you have a lawyer, you know that you're handicapped. You don't have a mental sense
Right.
about yourself.
Right.
And
You need someone else
now when you-
to be there. Well, yeah, and they make it so
You don't know the
complicated.
rules.
Yeah, they make it so complicated. You have to study all these statutes and understand everything. Otherwise, and you could spend your lifetime, doing. So you need this specialist, right? So they make it a situation that even you are labeled an imbecile because you are. It's not a mental capacity. It's a knowledge base that you don't have. So
right, and that's true.
yeah.
And they rape the statutory rapists daily. How many thousands of people go into the municipal courts, and the court represents the ship, because they have the gate in the front, and then you come up and you the defendant or the plaintiff, and you are going to the court of their non-record, the de facto court. It's an inferior court, and it makes you think that this is something. There's no justice there, especially when
it's a commercial arbitration.
Right. And where's the contract? Show me the contract. Hey, and we have implied contracts: your driver's license, your registration, your insurance has to be paid on what? I have no idea. So all a fraud to make a system work. The system doesn't need to work as it is because it's a thief. Wouldn't we have more if we could if everyone shared in what they needed? Everyone's got to work for what they do. But I might want to take away anything from someone doing something. But we all got to work together. Like one of the shows we had is like, you're responsible, take action. And that's why PAM is so important. Patriot Action Movement, where each person as an individual can make the change in our society, positive change. Just opening up a kid's lemonade stand and donating it to a cause. I mean, something simple, but that will get people involved in becoming more sensitive to the cause that you're working in. And that's how we got to do it. And my friend David or Tank, I said that when you go into their courts, you give up your rights because you have none. And we got to stop the fraud, and that's why PAM is important, because every person takes on an action, and I'll pass things in for thought. And people got to exchange it. We're mentally not stable because we think the government's going to take care of us. The government can't take care of us, because if they do, they'd be doing their job and they would self-implode. And I don't believe in violence. I believe in protecting myself in my life. But we got to work on peace. I mean, everyone has a right to self-defense. Someone comes after you, you have a right to stand your ground. If that, you have to have a weapon in your hand, use it. But I don't say abuse it. Like the stupid guy in Florida shot that poor black man for a parking space, and it was totally ignorant. And now he's in jail, and one man's dead, and the woman's a widow. I mean, we got to be smart when we work. I don't think even our most evil people in our life have a worth. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I just you're derailing my show, our show here a little bit. So I just want to bring things back and flip it for a second.
I'm sorry.
No. You're okay. Listen. I appreciate that you got something to say, man. I appreciate you coming on. So don't take that the wrong way. I just want to I want to bring you back focused. Because we understand at this point that, and I keep emphasizing this, so I appreciate that you come on and you kind of prove it. Is part of the reason why people don't take common law serious. It's a lack of focus and consideration to the audience they're speaking to, right? There's so valuable, but it's something where you're speaking that the connection is most important, right? And knowing how to connect to that crowd and knowing what you're saying, what's going to land. So here is my number one rule as a teacher. And as a teacher, I know you'll appreciate this. I have to focus on making sure that I give people one thing they will never forget versus a whole lot of things they will never remember. So that's the focus. So today, back on track a little bit, is I just want to point this out, Dan. You still there?
I'm here. I'm listening. I don't want to get derailed.
So, as Schiff is definitely going to be a great new slang word used for generations. I also think that Pelosi will end up being a name that will be used for a disease, and Maxine would be something that we describe, like, oh, I see a little bit of the Maxine Waters, right? Like your face just starts to melt off, and you're always angry. So I'm watching all these different things that are happening right now with such great jubilation, which that might make me a little bit of a bad person. I'm not sure. But I realize it's just such a victory for the people right now, what's happening, right? So It has always been this way. And I had this great conversation with, the National Liberty Alliance right over the past 2 days. We spent a lot of time together talking. And this is one of the things they said to us at first when we first started talking. They said, you know what? When all this stuff triggers, they said, you know what Trump's doing and what Q's doing and the stuff, right? Now, they have a lot of great knowledge. They said that, and they started talking about all these things that are going to happen. The big arrest, right? The sealed indictments. Now, I let them in on a secret. We are the trigger, right? We are what sets it off, right? We're what sparks the fuse and lights this up. And the way that happens is exactly what needs to happen right now. That everybody, the money is coming in, and there's nothing that any of us individually can really do about that. So sit around pining and waiting and frustrated doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve a greater purpose, right? So the best move everybody here in the U.S. has, and whatever respective country you might be listening from, but the U.S. is kind of the epicenter of all this activity, right? So the number one thing that we really want people to start doing is to start to do some research. I'm going to put out some documents on speakproject.net, and when we put this information out, it's from the National Liberty Alliance, and it really is such an organized train of thought to explain, according to the Constitution, exactly what your rights are. And it is the basis for a full-on, series of classes, but it's something I recommend you share with your kids, with your family, with everybody you know, and I'm going to get that out to people and make it available. It's a little bit lengthy, so I have to, I got to figure that out, exactly the best way to do it. But we will put that on the speakproject.net within the next 2 days or so.
Maybe we should actually just break it up into small videos and talk about them in the segments, video segments.
We will do that, Dan. I think that's a great idea. But what we're going to do first, or not first, but what needs to happen, this stuff is so thorough. And I got to be honest, it's something you want to look at. It's something you want to print up, actually, and hold in your hand so you can see it. Because it really goes through things where as you realize what's in there, you also start to realize what's been taken from you. And then even more so, you start to realize, wait, did I give this up? Right? Am I giving it up by not doing anything now? And that's the kind of process I went through to kind of get here now. And I hope that kind of rings true for others too as they go through it. I think it's very important because it is so powerful. It's so powerful, the rights you have as a liberated human being living in America, in this republic. We are a republic, not a democracy. He breaks that down very thoroughly. The problem with democracy, right, is it's like, the popular vote basically rules the day, right? And we all are so used to hearing that our whole lives.
Right.
We all think that's great. And that would be great if everything was transparent, everybody was honest. There's a lot of what ifs there, which we don't have, right? So the majority, the masses, making massive decisions isn't really empowering. And you lose your unalienable rights, which is what they're trying to do now. They're trying to take away our unalienable rights. And that is so important. And And so we've got to bridge these gaps right now, right? And Robert Allen is out there, I'm sure. He is somebody who can do this, and I'm certain he will. Is we need to break down these gaps. And I just thought of Robert Allen because he's just got that kind of personality. He's just such a likable guy that we have to break down these gaps in understanding. For the people out there who think they're fighting for women's rights, or they think they're fighting for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender rights, or they think they're fighting, against conservatives, right? You have to fight against conservatives. Well, what if you weren't allowed to fight that way? What if you weren't allowed to have an opinion? Because that's really what is being taken. If you weren't allowed to have your own moral conviction, if you weren't allowed to have what matters to you, if you're not allowed to have that, you're not free anymore, right? You're just a robot being programmed to think and act a certain way, right? It just is ridiculous. There's movies out there, and there's an old Twilight Zone episode where if people showed any kind of emotion, they would be killed. And there's a movie like that now. If you show any emotion, or you have a strong opinion, or you go against, the authoritarian control in any way, that is what is happening right now when people cannot make a conscious decision, a morally convicted, ethical decision to uphold laws which are in force here, the law of the land, such as it is illegal. It is against the law to deal in fetal body parts, right? It is against the law. It is against the law to buy them, sell them, to trade them in any way. You can't even donate them, right? It is against the law. Yet, in California, when a reporter exposes the violent acts and crimes being committed where that exact thing is being done, demonstrates the unethical practices of Planned Parenthood, the murder taking place with Planned Parenthood, not because of the abortion itself, but after a baby is born alive, he exposed it. Kamala Harris authorized and made a pathway for the journalist to be the one who is being indicted. Everybody in California should be furious. And I'll tell you what, we are going to bring indictments against Planned Parenthood. I'm going to bring indictments against Kamala Harris. Her ridiculousness, and the fact that she has allowed that to go on. Anybody who is allowing that decision to be made, that we need to suppress a journalist's ability to investigate and report things that are true and accurate in public places and are violent crimes being committed against humanity, that will go after and try to demonize that person, but will protect a doctor who is boasting about how much money they're going to make by killing more babies and killing babies that are born alive because they don't care. And that's exactly that. I'm not just talking about the abortion procedure. I'm talking about babies that come out, that are alive, and they had to kill them. That they do it, it happens all the time. That's what they said. They lie on reports. When a woman is 30 weeks pregnant, they put it in the system as 15 weeks pregnant. These kind of things, these are all unethical, and not even unethical, they're inhumane practices, right?
Shocking.
So, shocking and real, right? And when you really consider, is that really an issue about, President Trump? Is that really a President Trump issue? He's trying to stop us because he talked about grabbing a woman in her, between her legs, 15 years ago, bragging about, kissing girls, without their permission because he's the man, right? To another guy. You know what? Yes, that's not something you should say, without question. That's what you hate. These people are killing babies that are born alive, breathing, just drowning them on the spot for $1,000, of parts.
More than that.
So, could we just get some perspective,
If it was only $1,000, that's one thing too. But it's actually, thousands and thousands of dollars that they're making off of these parts. Yeah, every single part. 320 bucks, 320 bucks, 320 bucks, 320 bucks, 300. Just keep piecing it out at 320 bucks a part. eyes, ears, the brain, lungs, heart, tongue. It just ongoing. It, and the older the child was before killing it, the more you get. So why do they want to have birth and then kill? Is because they make more money. It's totally abhorrent.
I agree. It is abhorrent, and I want to show this here quickly. Here we go. So this is the 42 U.S. Code, right? Prohibitions regarding human fetal tissue. It's very, very clear. It shall be unlawful for any person to knowingly acquire, receive, or otherwise transfer any human fetal tissue for valuable consideration if the transfer affects interstate commerce. Now, this goes on, and really, pretty much, no matter how you slice it, this law is very, very thorough. This is illegal. This is an illegal practice. There is no justification for it. You can't make it okay because you wanted to do it, right? Or because you're fighting for women's rights, right? Is what that's the claim to fame, right?
Right.
Like, they are trying to interfere. We just have to see through the ridiculousness of this rhetoric at some point, because I mean, it just gets to a point like where are you kidding? Like, is anybody really think that this issue of a doctor taking twin babies that are 24 weeks old that just survived an abortion, that he carefully took out of a woman's body with no consideration for the actual life of the child, other than to sell them and provide good samples for them to dissect, and hand a woman live babies. And when she said she would not dissect them, just took sterilized water and just poured it in and covered their mouth and noses until they died. What kind of a person, I mean, that is, it is beyond it's beyond unethical. It gets to a point where you can't make that okay.
It's evil.
We get to a point where, where we are applauding that behavior as great job. Somebody has got to intercede and be like, you are broken as a person.
Right.
You're broken. You're dead inside. You are not even a person. You cannot celebrate that and be allowed to stay on this planet. You have to go. I'm sorry. There just has to be a line where you say enough is enough. This is a defenseless baby. And I cannot imagine anyone ever holding a baby of their own, or even just any baby. I mean, babies are magic. I mean, it's incredible. You can hold a baby and you can have the whole world on your shoulders and you feel like you could do anything. You can I brought my sons home from the hospital, and I swear, Dan, I had superpowers. On the way home, if a bird went by, I could see everything. So I was like, man, I got precious cargo in the back. I never felt more responsible, more terrified, and stronger in my life. Babies are everything that is magical about human beings. Everything.
Yep. No, I agree. I mean, I know. I felt the same. Yeah, and I still feel like a superhero because I had kids.
I know, me too.
They're grown, and I have grandkids, and I'm trying to say, stop the vaccines, don't get the vaccines. This is the reason. It's you have to stand up for your kids. You have to basically do those things that are it's unpleasant to try and deal with the people that are saying, "Oh, you're eliminating my rights." I said, "I'm not eliminating your rights. You just have a wrong impression of what your rights are. You don't have the right to kill. just because it's inconvenient for you. Right? You made a decision. I mean, maybe there was a rape, you know, and that point. But that's at least a discussion to have, you know. But at that point, there is some living being, you know, and maybe you don't want to raise it, and you can put it up for adoption, you know. But you know, the situation as it is, to kill a living being, you don't want to admit it's living. I get it, but you know, create a scientific foundation as to when the soul enters the body, and go from there. You know, I mean, we're sophisticated. We can figure it out. If it's at the moment of conception, then you have to leave it be. Now, if it threatens the mother's life, that's a different story, also. But these are discussions we can have that are you can have a reasonable discussion about it. But it could be that, you know, that life supersedes the mother's life. You know, if it ends up that, you can say that's God's will. I'm not saying one way or another, but there is a discussion to have. But we have to recognize the life is not, you know, because, you know, after it's born, you can kill it because it's going to be inconvenient.
I agree. Hey, Lisa, did you have a question?
No, I'm good. You know, Dan is just hogging you. We could do our own show today. So, you know, I just missed being the co-host. That was it.
It's all right.
That's really it.
Of course. This
I actually sent you a question in chat because you didn't respond to my text. So that's really it's that simple. So, I'm just listening to you guys chat.
And sometimes Lisa.
And sometimes Lisa.
And sometimes Lisa. You haven't played that video in a while.
That always implies. Like everything. And sometimes Lisa. She might be there too.
Might be, might not be. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Lisa.
How was your Manila trip?
Well, it was good. You know, it was you know, I ended up going to a buffet. You know, my first date with my wife, we went to a buffet. And I learned something. I said,
She married you after a buffet?
I know. Well, the thing is that she ate so much, and I said, you know, she eats a lot. I can't believe how thin she is. But that's the only time she eats. Every rest of the time she never. But at a buffet, I don't know where she puts it. Yeah. You know. But every other time she eats such a small amount. I mean, she's a small woman, but she eats a small amount. That makes sense. But when we go to buffet, I mean, she's like on 6 plates, right? And I'm going, how is it possible? But that's okay. You know, we don't go to buffets too often. But for her birthday, right. You know, she likes it.
Hopefully it was good.
Oh yeah, it was good. And then we went to go see a horror film because she likes horror films. And I went, oh no, it has subtitles. You know, and I go,
oh gosh.
Yeah, it was like a Korean.
I don't know which I dislike more, the subtitles or the horror.
I know.
I'm kind of a baby. I'm kind of a chicken.
I don't like slasher films or things. I don't go to see them. I mean, I can watch. I used to, when I was younger, I used to watch them and go see them all. But now I don't really. I just don't want, you know, the you know, horror films or that in my mental space. I just don't have time for it. But then she likes it, so we went to go see it. And it was subtitles, nice. And she fell asleep. That's all.
We're giving that food.
I didn't hear you, Jason.
I'm sorry, it was all that food. It's like chicken.
Oh yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, that's definitely it. She ate so much she fell asleep. You know, actually, the horror film was actually pretty interesting story line, but it was you know, just unusual type of thing. But you know, again, it was a Korean a Korean story. So anyway, anyway, it was a good trip, and but I'm sad I wasn't able to get on and connect with Tank. We did try a couple of times. You know, my phone wasn't ringing when he was calling. You know, and I had the phone just sitting there and it didn't ring. And I looked later, he had called. Then I went online on the Zoom, but I'm all waiting for 15 minutes. But you know, it burns my battery just sitting waiting. I could be sitting there waiting for an hour. The one when Tank is going to come on. So anyway, we missed, but hopefully that just means that Kim is already funded.
You know, it's so funny. Josh Conley said the same thing. for a totally different reason, which I just find to be fascinating. You know, and that's two men I trust. You know, which I don't trust a lot of people.
Did you check your bank account, Tank? That's a big question.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, snap!
Snap.
I didn't think that.
You know, just plain devil's advocate here.
Yeah, I thought that.
I know you did. I'm just giving you a hard time. All right.
When you are constantly running on fumes, you're always checking the tank. That's
I'll keep that in mind. Checking the tank.
That's right. I'm always checking the tank now. Always. So.
Running low, running on empty from now on. Feeling
So,
fine.
Dan,
Yes.
I don't think I have anything else of significant importance to speak about tonight. And I've been advised to keep things short. So
It's good. It's good.
That's not why I'm on. Really, that's not my purpose. I just had a question for Tank. That's
well,
really
you know, listen, you'll know when we're in trouble. You'll know.
because Sid's picture will pop up.
Sid,
not me.
When even your photograph shows up as Sid, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah, because we've done that to Tank. We've all showed up as Sid when he was in trouble. So, but tonight he's good. He's all good. I'm actually proud of you, Tank. What you did today was amazing, and it's pretty awesome to even be a part of it. So, good work. Good work today.
Hey, I'm just happy to be a part of it too. So, all right. Appreciate everybody. Dan, you have a great night.
You too.
And Lisa, I'm going to call you right after this. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. All right. Goodbye.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. Be sure to subscribe, thumbs up, all the rest. You know what to do. Pass it on.
God bless.
Bye, Jason.